So some tactics will go well, some tactics may not go well. But if it doesn't go well, it helps you, the coach, to analyze the fact that maybe this player cannot play that role that I've given him. Let me try this player or that player. So when you have many new players, that's what normally happens. And I'm not surprised they have started picking up, because most of them have gotten to know themselves now, and the coach was also seeing the tactics that he thinks will fit the players that he have. Because every coach, for you to design a tactics, it depends on the quality of players you have at a particular time. So I believe that now the players are doing well. They've now understood the coach as to the roles on the pitch.
Maintain that winning streak that Kotoko has.
Yeah, it's important that, and more especially the supporters. This is the time that the players will need the supporters to put all their backing, their supporters, their money and everything behind them, so that they can achieve their aim of winning the cup. So I believe the players are also out there and they know what is ahead of them. So what they need now is the support, because as a player, once you're on the pitch and you know that you have your supporters behind you and they always come to the pitch to support you, automatically you also try not to let them down, but to fight and make sure you get a victory.
Coach, what should we expect from you and your team? What are the expectations this season?
I believe that the coach knows that he should try and do anything that he can to make sure we are able to go to Africa this season. Looking at the players that we have now, looking at the money that Tumfo is spending, I believe that it will be an honor, to win the cup or go qualify for Africa next season, to at least make him also happy. So far we're playing very good. So by God's grace, I believe that if we continue fighting, automatically we can end up winning the trophy.
Because you have 27 points from 15 games. How does the IMC rate the performance of your team so far?
I think it's not bad, considering the fact that, as I said initially, when you have a whole lot of new players within a year, that particular year, if it's not because we want to do something to Anna Utumfo, I personally wouldn't have rushed them into thinking within the first year you should try and win the cup. No, but the players are actually doing well, and that's why we need the supporters to be behind them and give them the support needed to achieve this victory.
But you are making some signings. What did the IMC study? What did you find as the problem? Which areas are you trying to fix? Because it seems to be attackers. What has called for this?
As we all know, the first half of the season we were left with only one striker, which is only Albert. So whenever he had an injury or he was invited to the national team, it became a problem. We didn't have anyone, and when it comes to striking, it's important if you have 3 or 4 strikers, because strikers, sometimes you can put a striker to strike from the wing, and then can put some at the center. Sometimes you can even put 2 at the center and then 1 on the wing. So it depends on what tactics you're playing at a particular time. And for me, normally you cannot make any signings without the coach input. Every signing that you be making, the coach has to approve it, because he's going to work with the players, and we are there as management to make sure we support him and make sure he gets what he wants.
So how many signings are you making, and Can you confirm to us the number of signings that you've made so far?
It's difficult. Now, I know we've done Kwampoku, but I know there are others that the coach is yet to finalize with their remains. And then once it's done, he will inform the management, and then we all collaborate and make sure we do the same. But everything has not been sealed yet. It's now that they've opened the registration, so hopefully.
How did you convince Justice Blade to stay? Prior to the extension, we heard he was leaving. How did the IMC convince him to extend the contract?
No, I don't think Blair was leaving. I never knew anything like that. But all what I knew was he was given the contract, and he had to study the contract and come back, to the management. So it's like where you're working now. If you're given a contract and you want to study the contract, or you're not happy with the contract, you study it and then come back to your management and ask them, oh, I'm not happy with this, so if you can make this okay, then we all sign. So I think that's what happened, but it's got nothing to do with Blair leaving.
We hear some players also want to leave. We're hearing of Frederick Asari, the goalkeeper, and some other players who also want to leave. Can you confirm that to us, and what is the issue?
I'm surprised that I'm hearing this, because we as management has not heard anything. Or even Asari, his contract is not ended yet. I think the contract will end, I think July or August, I think so. So I don't know anything about his contract yet. As the other players also want to leave, I'm not privy to that. But at the end of the day, a player might have his own reason as to why he wants to leave, a team. And until we are informed, it's difficult to say anything about it. But I believe that Kotoko players are being catered for very well now. As we all know, with Otunso's help, they have a place to sleep. They don't pay water, they don't pay light bill. Even they are paying some small percentage of their salaries to be fed. And it's a team that sometimes by 25th or 26th they get their salaries. Once they win a match, the next day they get their bonuses. So I don't see anything that can be having such incentives, and I believe we're doing the best with the help of Otumfo, and I'll be surprised if a player playing now for Kotoko will say, oh, I'm leaving, unless it's for other reasons.
One difficult situation now is attendance at the stadium. It seems to be very low. How do you hope to encourage the Kotoko supporters in your days? They were seen at the stadium hours before the game. How do you hope to encourage the supporters to come in their numbers to always support the team, whether they are playing at home or away?
It's really unfortunate. You see, football, not only in Ghana, in Africa, once it coincides with a Premier League game, when there's a big game, with the Premier League or the Spanish League, people tend to love to watch that instead of coming to the stadium. Take for instance, if a supporter is living at Swami, and there's Manchester versus Liverpool, and the time of the game is the same time as we are playing, instead of using money to take a car and then come and pay gate fees and then return, you sit down and say, okay, let me just sit down and watch this Premier or Spanish League. But the other way around, which I've suggested, that if we could get some buses at some 20 points, and make sure we are able to carry the supporters from these areas, these faraway areas, to come and support the team. I believe that that will also help. We could try and make sure we get some sponsors, to even hide these buses for us. But these are all suggestions that we've put across, and hopefully if it goes through. But on the other hand, if you are a die-hard supporter, no matter what is being shown on your TV, you come and put your support behind the team. And that is what we actually need from every supporter, irrespective of whatever you're doing. Once we play home, you should all come and put their support and prayers and make sure Kotoko gets the victory needed.
The Adakojachi project, as a member of the IMC, how far have you gone? Any news so far?
I think we've done the second pitch, and in the pipeline we might be doing one artificial turf, and I think there was one being built, but the size of it we are not happy. Okay. So we've told them, and they are thinking of enlarging it for us. So once that is done, there are other things that we want to do, but Monday we have a meeting with because whatever is being done is from Otumfo anyway. We are AMC and we have nothing, but we are just on top there, and everything is being done by Otumfo. But I believe that the intention is to make sure we get our own accommodation. As of now, where we are hiring. And hiring at the end of a year or two, you have to go and pay again. And why not use the money to try and build your own? So this is something that we are making sure that we are able to do it. And so that actually becomes a Kotoko village where you come and see all the players, and then their gym, almost everything will be there. So that once you enter there, and there's even this idea of making sure we get some stands on one of our pitches, so that when supporters, some matches which are not that high, you can even play it there. So these are all things in the pipeline, and we hope that we'll be able to achieve it.
But this project has been there for years. How soon does it hope to end, or what is the time frame for the Adakojachi project? How long is it going to last, or how soon is it going to end?
The issues has been there, as you said, but it's always better that when you come and even take a step, if you can lay 2 or 3 blocks, at least the next person who come can also lay 2 or 3 blocks, and it will be going. So the idea of it's been there for years and nothing is being done, I don't believe in that. I believe that whatever you can do, try and do it. At the end of the day, when you leave, they will say, okay, the IMC came and the IMC was able to build a second pitch, and they've laid one or 2 blocks trying to finish the hostel for the players. So that is one of the things that we are hoping to achieve this year.
It's of keen interest to the great king Otumfo. How far?
Anytime you go to Otumfo, he is particularly very, very interested in the youth team, and for that reason, we've started with the under 17. So we're thinking of having under 15, having under 15, under 17, under 19, and then maybe under 21, so that there will be progression as to those from under 17, where are they going, the they're going to under 19. From under 19, you go to under 21. So all these are in the pipeline, and we're hoping that Utumfo will reach agreement with the Obuasi pitch. Some agreements are in the pipeline. So once it's finished, we move all the juvenile teams there, and we get coaches and administration to take care of the kids.
We hear a new bus has been purchased for the youth team. Is that true?
Yeah, as I said, Otumfo is very particular with it. So when we told him that we've started the under 17, immediately he said, okay, there's a car in front of the Malaysia there, we should go and take it and give it to them. So it's something that is on his heart, and we are also making sure we do the best to make sure all the divisions we are able to create. You see, dealing with the juveniles sometimes becomes difficult in the sense that if you bring under 15 guys who are living with their parents and you want to take them out there, you should make sure you get very good accommodation, and then secondly, where they will be attending schools, and then assuring the parents of their security, So all these petty issues are being dealt with, and hopefully everything should be done soon.
Coach, how are you going to get players for this youth team? We hear you playing some friendly games and other. How do you hope to get the players to form the youth team?
No, so far we've done some scouting. We had 2 coaches who are scouts for the youth team. They went round and they scouted very few of them. But as I said, once everything is set up, automatically you have to get scouts in all the regions who will be scouting and looking out for quality players, so that at the end of the day they will bring them, and then we will also be there to look at the trials and make sure and pick out the good ones, and then we use them to start the juvenile teams.
Are you going to register them in any of our lower divisions, or it's only going to be training and friendly games? How are you going to run the youth team?
Normally, when you have youth team, let's say under 15, there are some academies here, even in Kwasi, who have youth teams as well, under 15, and so you try and arrange some matches with those teams that are the under 15, under 17, and under 19. So it's a matter of arranging, making sure they are not just being fit for being fit sake, but they can also play some friendly matches to make sure they are also match fit. So that could be done, instead of traveling far away, it could be done locally, and we don't have locals as well. That's why the bus is there. Can send them to Accra or wherever. We play one friendly match, and then we bring them back.
Curtain raisers, youth teams playing curtain raisers before main league games. Do you have plans of making arrangements for your youth team so that they can play some curtain raisers before Kotoko's main league games?
You see, most of the time, it's very good that we've started these youth teams. Once the youth teams are established, and we are 100% sure there are other clubs with youth teams, then we can arrange that so that they play, for supporters to see their performance levels before our Premier League game is played. I think that can be done easily. But once we don't have so many things with these youth teams, then it becomes difficult. But all the same, I believe there are some 2 or 3 teams or academies that have these youth teams, and we can use them to play these games before the league game.
Running a football club in Ghana is difficult because there are no sponsorships and other motivations. Now the great King Otumfo is committing a lot into the senior team as well as the youth team. How does the IMC hope to keep the King's hopes alive and then motivate him to continue to spend more on the team?
Yeah, it's really difficult. As much of running a team in Ghana, it's something that all the teams need to make sure they help in finding sponsorships. If you rely on the FA alone to find sponsors for you, it might be really difficult. But you yourself need to go out there and get some marketers, to do marketing for you and make sure they're able to bring some sponsors on board. Irrespective of how much you are getting. If you're getting even small, it's important you try and engage them and make sure you get some sponsors. Now we're looking out for sponsors for the youth teams, and I believe you're on the track because very soon you might get some sponsors for the youth teams, and then as to the senior team, we have some few, but we are planning on getting more, to get involved with the sponsorship of Kotoko.
Coach, your message to the Asante Kotoko supporters?
What I'll urge them is they need to put their full support for the team. They should know that the team belongs to the King, and anything that they are doing, they are not doing it for me or for the players, but they are doing it for the great team here. So irrespective of whatever anyone has done to them or whatever they're doing at home, they should all, whenever they play at home, they should leave whatever they're doing and come and put their support and prayers behind the team. And who was it? Is it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I went to training, and one supporter, I understand it's called something Appiah.
Appiah Stadium.
I think he doesn't live in Kwasi, but he came, and he said when they played House of Folk, he promised the boys 10,000, and then I think there was one other match. I think Dreams, he promised 5,000. So he brought all the 15,000 to the players, and then he said, I think Amma was celebrating his birthday.
Okay.
So he gave him some envelope and a cake. It was, I was really amazed, because to get a supporter who doesn't even live in Kumasi, he traveled all the way down to bring these players the money and the cake. And I think and these were kind of things that our time, 1980s, we used to get from our supporters, and that's why some of us never wanted to travel, because we believe that our supporters actually made us happy. So they should always make sure they come and put their support and strength and energy behind the team, irrespective of whatever is happening. But we will also not let them down. We will do our best and make sure we do the best for Kotoko.
Yes, we exclusive interviewer. I come from James Mahila Kwasi. Asante Kotoko, or IMC member, and Sempi, a coach about Seraph.
Yes, sir. And some pina, what boss on more. Where Kotoko fana. A lot of them were never home. Or say, league, or do vopers or moje. It it looks like a priority, a target, the Makumasi Asante Kotoko. Maybe you know Kwasi Appiah and management, they feel say be a kabete kita, but it looks like they are in the positions of meet me at the league and aim and it's a this season, meet me at the league, and I idea about what we are Kotoko fan. I think so we be as a very refreshing news, because in fact me my dream now I feel say Kotoko project where you consistently in the second season or Moji League or more person or Moji, but it looks like a project mature at even though last year started and there was a team or collapse team entirely as a recruitment for and all that, but a picky early and as a fan and so based on Appiah interview it looks like season league opportunity ni baso omobagia and we are Kotoko fan we a very very refreshing news now or see so this Kotoko player be person free Kotoko aya na ye ne nwanwa kakra because the omo ye de ma Kotoko players on gin this other teams ni betumi aye minim say we be debatable or say one Kotoko players no omo fie na omo te wo ho no omo ntua rent ntua light bill ntua water bill in fact monthly salary no say ya na ya te kakra bi na ya dia omo sa dia no aduane dia ma omo ntino they are fed by some deductions kakra omo year from their monthly salary and based on salaries edema players no incentives omo de ka on who is other team bia betumi amache
he say allowance
or say allowance not even allowance, from the salary
not from the salary
comparatively me I don't know but I mean yes sure say team they already be at the salary level so ne incentives I die on team or hono me say they don't pay anything but meaning whether they run it as a camp or more running as independent rooms and accommodations are the players. I want a clarification on that because if it's a camp situation, normally there were restrictions on players. Ubetimi be obi alcohol ntimi for being called, but all running they say accommodation are the players there. And a player will be the son will be betimi alcohol, bad betimi alcohol will be ntimi in country. Meaning how they run it, but Ojidi say these are incentives are one. So what is a Frederick Asari free on my bed and one kakra and this could be one of the reasons Ojidi say a bit me and one. But funding of GPL there's what they I'll say a difficult one man as a club. One pe kwan this one pe funding sources are all run a club now more like so 2 for ekoso di pushes card more the club and another but we a club now we sa external funding and we need sponsorship a very difficult and when you say Appiah that's why Chromo running the club is the most unattractive thing the whole Chromo animal so yes was some reliable funding be a you may be a we obekwa ko face can the best clubs ni mo nti hanum say financial you need financial regulations be the team no one say ko risk abra betugum na run a club because the people running the club no your madwen so mo be ye bibia ma wo ko majo am when you be the at club so we have a big problem when it comes to running and funding clubs ewo because Appiah it is a very very difficult running clubs ewo Ghana hanum on Frederick Asari issues are raised and say near contract in the end August and they the only Kotoko contract it looks to me say the player na very careful on Kumasi on Kotoko's our and be because Kotoko signed that player yes
yeah
and clearly it looks like Edana Kotoko ne Ibono Ghost as a na oti esro
yeah
inti me kohor no ne money oni aboaje neto
okay
aboaje very tight panto no ni aboaje na neto nti aboaje frame me me ko nti me ko no ni aboaje neto so I had some conversations and it looks to me so be a step in it looks like here
asamowana
no me need to
I was Appiah and some no ready you know
somebody needs to step in and see so because akwani or your talent or your talent the talent in your common
you be do home come don't worry for want of time you be say that baso be yi say that but pepe kakra bi on
na me ready say be say that boss keke na baby arrived this year no the last time Kotoko Bebo has your call da kojachi me busa prosper 3 times about
say
me busa say ya TTB because now also
you're dropping from Black Galaxies.
Yes.
Because on that Kotoko. From Black Stars, no, yes,
from
drop,
Black
no.
Stars, yes.
And yes, I drop him from Black Galaxies. To be coach, is he injured? Prosper Mami, the same answer. I'll say he's available.
Wow.
So he's not necessarily any injury. He's available. Will he play? He's available. The coach was particular with the answers, you know. And Makasa Dewe, how Kotoko recent goalkeepers of captain, you know, from my Felix Annan to my friend Danlad Ibrahim.
Danlad.
So say what here? Who told him the captain
as a goalkeeper
will be a captain? Where you here? Me a deputy and ampe.
So Black Stars near captains.
Opele guys on the person assistant or pay head coach. They are pound. And we'll come and discuss that. Because you have some of the two jobs. The people are called Kaya a touchy me pie. Why Ubusan? Why Kotoko a struggle?
Ups and downs
from the beginning of the season here, and seriously, James Kwasi Appiah were mature in terms of technical newman. Or see, Sanya fi newman opimso yedemo mo pese. Omo league na. He will not push any Kotoko player and say let's go and win the league this season because Omo assemble a new team. And when you put new team with the new players a bar, or see these things, ABCC, but newman opimso yedemo team no. And almost our resolve said they want to win the league. Now, Mr. Penyunim said, Kotoko winning the league, you know. Apart from Prosper. Ubisan 100 onka.
Yeah.
But me catch us so the boys this year catch them here kwa league.
But on how
until me catch them abante. Now no na penka new year message. Kotoko YouTube boy da ho. Na penka say they want to win the league. No much league now they want to go to Africa. Now omo akọ oyisu word we say omo ko Africa no ma ko make mark.
Wow.
No answer but say not just a mark, a serious mark. They've been charged by the owner of the club say second round window here be. Recruitment be on person be omonya say be ya. Opem so mpese ye bo season ya na ya pam ni akoto bi de ko ba Africa. Enti omo to no se sie ya ntina Kotoko efa 4 strikers e buzapanyi.
Wow.
4. Just say me no order that. Samson Eduku ni Isaac Minta almost done. No more so na Kotoko nya 4 strikers o. Enti ebo season ya Kotoko will not be chasing Pfizer Chiwete. So wa share ABA 15 the nations e tu ko peno. Kotoko will not be chasing upon from Pando out of Lions. ABA wa share 12 o ko peno because omo your recruitment be bia e dey at from Sabri. Now the AJ project Ubusano and some of the buy no. Nyame admo dey free chine you pick it one after the other and go deep into it because Asante Kotoko I think say yes management ni ketuwa bi dey but Japanese enyoma no mo ye ne and the last board open so charge you so mo anti youth team no man me at least almost started something and I think that they are on their way to make the man the great king very happy because nyoma open no na omo